Hey, in this video I'm going to talk about container. Container in web development is used to organize your project. As you can see right in front of me, I have one structure but without container, and all of my elements are going from side to side. If you want to avoid this, you shall use a container. Now, I'll show you two different methods of how to use a container. First one will be with a simple div and some custom properties, and the second one will be Divhunt's predefined element called container. So let's begin. First of all, I'm going to select my section and put one div inside of it. I'm going to put my content inside of this div, and because I want to reuse this container, I'll just set class to it. Let's name it a container. Now, let's add some properties to our container. First of all, select your class and let's set some max width. Let's go with 1440 pixels and width of 100%. Now, as you can see, our content is shrinked, but let's center it. We can just put our margin to auto and our content is centered. Now, let's go and add container to our other sections. All you have to do is put one div, wrap your content inside of it, and because we made a class, you just need to add a class to your div. And as you can see, all of the properties are set on your div. And your container is ready for use. But let's go to the responsive part really quickly. Let's go to some smaller viewports. For example, a landscape. As you can see, in our first section, our content is still sticked to the edges. How can we fix this? Let's go to the full viewport and let's select our container, select our class, and let's add some padding. For example, 20 pixels. Let's go with the left padding and with the right padding. Now, let's go back to the responsive part. Open the landscape viewport, and now we have a bit of a breathing room on our container. And now, let's go back to the full viewport. Right now, you have your container ready for use. Let's go to some other ways of how can you make a container. Let's put this content outside of this custom container, and let's go to this panel. In the drop-down menu, you can see element called container. You can just left click and add it, and you can just put your content inside of it. As you can see, all of the content is centered without me adding any other properties. And now I'll show you how can you reuse your container. I'll put one inside of my other section, put my content inside of new container, and now you just need to select your element, go to the selector panel, click on a tag button, and you need to select global. Right now you can see properties of max width, paddings, and margins. Let me show you what will happen when I edit these properties. For example, max width. As you can see, all of my containers has gotten wider. The same will happen when you edit the paddings, margins, or some other properties. For now, I'll just take this max width property and put it back to 1440 pixels. And you have your container ready for you to use. To sum things up, what is a container? Container is an element which is used to organize all of your content into your project, to align everything equally. And this will be everything for this video, and I'll see you in another one.